Hi, I'm Doug Oster from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Welcome to Digging with Doug. And guess what? It's raining off and on today, but a great day to plant when it is nice and overcast and rainy like this. And today we're going to plant a tree. Today is the first day of fall. We're into September, and that's the best time for planting trees. And the reason for that is that these temperatures and the way the light is are conducive to root growth as opposed to top growth. And when we put a tree in, we want it to really expand in the roots, but not have to worry about putting out all this new growth and flower shoots. And the tree I've chosen today is a heptacodium, and that's also known as 7 sunflower. And when I was choosing this tree, the important thing for me to know is how big it's going to get. One of the worst things to do is put a tree too close to a house or too close to the path, and in 5 years you either have to remove the tree or keep hacking it back dramatically. This heptacodium will only spread to about 10 to 15 feet. I've chosen a spot that it's just going to come out and drift over the path as it gets bigger, and eventually we'll just, be up just beneath that oak tree there. So choose the right site for the plant as far as size and also for lighting. This is actually a sun lover, but will adjust to shade, which is what I like, because that's all I've got here is shade. And I wanted a tree that was a little bit different than what everybody else was growing. When we start gardening, we're just so happy when something lives, and I'm always telling people that. Yes, I'm so glad it lived. Then after that, when you get over that, you want to grow something that's completely different, like this tree here. It has a couple seasons of interest, because first what happens is we get these beautiful white flowers, and they're very fragrant, which is wonderful. But then after that, they turn red, like they put a seed pod on that's red, which is also beautiful. And then when it drops its leaves, the bark itself is absolutely beautiful. So there's 3 seasons of interest in this tree, which is something I love. Let's take a look at the hole I dug here. What I've done is I've dug a hole that's twice the diameter of what the root ball of the tree is. Now, for years and years and years, we would improve this soil and then put the tree in. But experts tell us now that's not the right way to do it, because you make this area here into just like a big pot and the roots won't go out any further. But sometimes you just don't think that is right. And in this case, this soil is so bad, I'm going to put a little bit of compost in the bottom and work it in just so there's some good drainage. And when I put the backfill in, I'm going to add a little compost to it. Just because I don't think the soil is nice enough to keep this tree going the way I want it to grow. So here we go. We've got our hole dug, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of compost into the hole itself, just at the bottom. And the most important thing when we're planting is that tree right here is not planted any deeper than that. If you plant it deeper, you're going to kill the tree. So we're just putting a little bit in here, and then we'll see how that is as far as our depth when we get the tree in there. And then we'll knock it out of here. Oh yeah, that's in there. That's in there good. There we go. And we'll see what we have. And you know what? That looks just about right. And now we just backfill in there. And like I said, I'm going to add some compost to this backfill so that the tree will get a little bit of the nutrients it wants, but hopefully will still send its roots out into the adjoining area. And we want this to be flat. We don't want to make a volcano out of it. That's the wrong thing to do with a tree. It should be at the same level as the soil was, so that when things get hot, when things get sunny, it doesn't dry out as quickly. And I know we see volcano mulch all the time on landscapes. You shouldn't be doing it. And I want to be sure that this trunk is at the same level as it was before I planted it in here. And there's a little bit of kind of an indentation here that'll hold some water. And the next thing we're gonna have to do is water. But before we do that, I'm gonna put a little compost on top, and then we'll water it in, and we'll talk a little bit about watering. Just a little compost for mulch. And we're just gonna soak it pretty good. The main thing with a new tree is that we're gonna wanna keep this watered all the way up until we get a hard freeze. So this plant has everything it needs moisture-wise for the winter. If we didn't do that, the plant could be stressed and we could lose some of the plant, the outside parts of the plant, to winter kill. Well, that was pretty simple, wasn't it? Pick the right tree for the right place, dig that hole twice as big as the root ball, and then keep it watered all fall. Next week, we're going to look at one of my new experiments, a fall experiment in the vegetable garden, and you'll have to tune in next week to see what that is. Remember, if you have a question about what we're doing here, log on to www.post-gazette.com/homes and click on the gardening forum button. I'd love to help you out. And you can also see my blog and videos at the PG members only site called PG+. Until then, nothing left to do. Enjoy the rain.